High in a forest on the edge of a peaceful village lived Bella the sparrow. Each morning, she chirped at dawn, gathering grains of corn to carry back to her nest. One day, as Bella hopped along a twisting branch of an ancient oak tree, she dropped a single precious grain into a hollow crevice. She peered in, heart sinking. The grain was gone, trapped deep within the tree's gnarled wood. Bella fluttered above the hollow, her tiny chest rising and falling with worry. That single grain represented her careful work, and without it, her chicks at home would go hungry. Yet the oak's trunk rose strong and impassive before her. With a polite trill, Bella addressed the ancient oak. "Dear tree, please return my precious grain. I dropped it here by mistake." The forest seemed to hold its breath as she waited. But the oak's bark remained silent, its branches unmoving. In the gentle breeze, Bella chirped again, more insistently, hoping the tree might show mercy. Still, no echo answered her plea, only the distant rustle of leaves. Bella realized that politeness alone would not sway this stubborn giant. Determined, Bella fluttered to the village below and sought out Charlie the carpenter. His workshop was alive with the scent of fresh pine and the soft ring of hammer on nail. "Charlie," Bella called, "my grain is trapped in that oak. Please, cut it down so I can retrieve it." Charlie paused in his work, eyeing the tiny bird perched on his windowsill. He wiped sawdust from his brow and shook his head kindly. "Bella, I'm sorry. That oak is too large to fell for just a single grain. It isn't worth the risk or the trouble." With that, he returned to smoothing a tabletop, leaving Bella perched in disappointment. Bella's feathers ruffled with concern, but she refused to give in. She soared to the royal palace at the forest's edge, where King Edward held court in grand splendor. Sunlight gleamed off marble pillars as Bella hopped before the king's throne. "Your Majesty," she chirped, "will you command Charlie to fell the oak and free my grain?" The courtiers gasped at the boldness of the request. King Edward leaned forward, surprised by the tiny petitioner. After a thoughtful pause, he declared, "Bella, I appreciate your persistence, but this matter is too small for royal decree. Let the carpenter choose." Bella bowed her head, gratitude for the audience mingling with renewed frustration. With her spirit sinking, Bella remembered Sam, the elephant handler who roamed the forest with his gentle giant Maxwell. Bella found Sam by the watering hole at midday as Maxwell drank. "Sam," she begged, "if Maxwell startled King Edward, the king would surely command Charlie to cut down the oak for fear of another incident. Please make the king fall from his elephant." Sam shook his head, softly calling Maxwell away. "Bella, I care for King Edward's safety and Maxwell obeys me alone. I won't endanger anyone's life, no matter the favor you seek." Bella chirped her thanks, heart heavy with one refusal after another. Desperation and determination glimmered in Bella's eyes. She remembered Andy the ant, industrious but small. Bella swooped down to a fallen log and found Andy's bustling colony within. "Andy," she declared, "help me or face my wrath. If you don't help me, I will harm you." Andy froze, his many legs trembling. The ant's antennae quivered as he considered the threat from the brave little bird. Though tiny, Andy knew the power of collective action, and he feared Bella's swift wings more than any predator. Under Bella's watchful eye, Andy marched toward Maxwell's trunk, slipping inside the elephant's nostril like a phantom. Maxwell reared back in surprise and trumpeted in panic. Sam, alarmed, tried to calm his charge, but Maxwell's distress grew. He charged through the forest, sending birds into flight and scattering deer in his wake. Sam chased after him, calling urgently on his horn. Sam finally caught up with Maxwell, guiding the panicked beast back toward the palace. Word of the elephant's rampage reached King Edward as courtiers scrambled. Concern turned to alarm, and the king demanded answers. "Fetch Charlie the carpenter," Edward commanded. "Fell the oak at once before any more harm comes to my realm." The small incident had become a crisis demanding swift resolution. Charlie arrived under torchlight, lantern in hand, his brow furrowed. The king's voice rang clear. "Cut down the oak now, carpenter. Protect my people." Charlie hesitated only a moment before raising his axe and stepping into the forest. Bella watched from a high branch her heart pounding. As the first stroke rang against bark, the ancient tree groaned, its roots quivering. At the final blow, the oak's great trunk shuddered. "Wait!" it rumbled in a deep, resonant voice. Charlie paused, axe poised mid-air. Bella fluttered down beside him as the tree continued. "I see now how precious that grain was to you. Little bird, take it back, for I have learned that even a single grain can carry great meaning." The oak's rough bark cracked, and beneath a knotted root, the lost grain gleamed in the lantern glow. Bella released the grain from the hollow, cradling it in her beak as tears of joy glistened in her eyes. She turned to Charlie and nodded her thanks. The carpenter smiled, sheathing his axe. Even King Edward, who had followed the kerfuffle from the palace steps, bowed his head respectfully. Bella flew back to her nest, grain in tow, triumphant and wiser. Back on her branch, Bella shared the story with her chicks, emphasizing how no obstacle, no matter how large, could stand against persistence and ingenuity. The oak's refusal, Charlie's hesitation, the king's indifference, and even Maxwell's panic had all become stepping stones to success. Bella chirped, "I never gave up. I found new friends, used my wits, and shaped my destiny." Her chicks listened, wide-eyed, as the forest awoke around them. Friends, what can we learn from Bella's journey? First, never underestimate yourself. Even the smallest among us can move mountains, fell giants, and shape our futures. Second, persistence pays off. When doors close, find another path, a different friend, or a clever solution. And finally, creativity conquers impossibility. Face your challenges with open eyes and an open mind. If Bella can rescue a single grain from an ancient oak, imagine what you can achieve when you stop saying it's too small and start saying it's worth it. Thank you for joining today's story. If you found this inspiring, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more motivational tales, and share it with someone who needs a spark of hope. Soft music swells as on-screen text reminds viewers. Subscribe, share hope, stay persistent. Great journeys begin with tiny steps. Keep stepping forward. Your grain of hope may just be the seed that changes your world. Moral: never underestimate your own power. By staying persistent, thinking creatively, and believing every effort, no matter how small matters, you can unlock solutions where others see only obstacles. Remember, Bella, the little sparrow, your smallest victory today can become your greatest triumph tomorrow.